Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for joining our webinar today. My name is Darren Hartman. I'm with VoIPsupply.com. Also with me today, I have Jessica Kelly and Eric Razi from Jabra. Today, we're going to go over the upgrade your IT team's business productivity from the inside out with Jabra Direct and Jabra Express. And just to tell you a little bit about VoIP Supply, so we have been in business since 2002. So been around for a long time, over 125,000 customers worldwide. Some of the reseller benefits that you can get when you partner with VoIP Supply. We have a nice VoIP rental program, device as a service rental program. Gives you a wide variety of VoIP products that we offer. You can roll everything into a low monthly payment on that. We also do hardware and provisioning here at VoIP Supply. So whether it be phones, ATAs, PBXs, any endpoint equipment really, we can provision those for you, send them out to your customers, or if you are, we can send them directly to you as well. So also we have a CloudSpan marketplace for VoIP Supply. So for any cloud sales, SIP trunking, hosted services, all of that, you can partner with us. You'll get commissions on any monthly recurring revenue that you close. Great program for a lot of resellers here. Our fulfillment kind of goes along with the provisioning piece that we talked about, or I talked about earlier there. This is really just shipping on your behalf to you or to your customers. We can also do labeling services, some custom work on your equipment as well. Our refresh and reclaim program is very popular. So if you have some older equipment that you'd like to sell back to us, we do offer money for that, make it a very easy process for you. We also do sell refurbished equipment as well. If you're looking for some lower cost equipment like new, we do offer that as well. That's my contact information there. Feel free to call or email me directly with any questions that you might have and that I could help you out with. Be glad to do so. And at this point, I'm going to pass it over to Jessica Kelly.
Excellent.
Hello.
Thanks so much, Darren. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. You're welcome.
So as Darren mentioned, my name is Jessica Kelly. I'm a channel account manager here at Jabra, and I support VoIP Supply and appreciate them letting us chat with you all today. So with me is Eric Razi. He's one of our technical consultants, and he'll actually be providing you a live demo of Jabra Direct and Jabra Express. But before we do that, just wanted to kind of give a quick overview of Jabra in case you're not familiar. So Jabra is a world-leading brand in audio, video, and collaboration solutions. The solutions are engineered to empower consumers and businesses. So our portfolio includes many professional certified devices that enable users to get the best experience from their UC platforms, supporting all types of deployment, whether it's a personal space, a meeting room, in industries such as education, healthcare, retail, etc. The key really is interoperability. So simply put, they're engineered to work in sync with your UC platforms and created to be intuitive and work straight out of the box. They are built and tested for a work environment, but as we continue in this hybrid way of work, they also need to allow users to concentrate better during their work, enable them to collaborate virtually in the most effective way, and have the flexibility to do so wherever and whenever they need to. So first, on your screen here, you'll see some screenshots of Jabra Direct. So Jabra Direct is a way for individual users of the devices to keep their headsets up to date. So you can do firmware updates. If there's any sort of bug fixes or anything like that, you can do that through Jabra Direct. You also have the ability to manage some settings. So there's a link at the bottom of the slide of where you can find Jabra Direct on our website. And then also we have Jabra Express. Now Jabra Express is made more for those IT professionals at the organizations to manage all the devices within their organization. And also, as you can see at the bottom, there is a link to where that can be found on our website as well. So right now, I think we'll go ahead and jump into showing you them live. And as Darren mentioned, feel free to pop any questions into the Q&A section, and we'll be sure to address those at the end.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Eric Rossi. I'm a technical consultant here with Jabra. I'm going to be going over the live demo of Jabra Direct and Jabra Express. So this is Jabra Direct. It is actually Mac and PC compatible. So this is a great, as Jessica mentioned, it's a great solution for one user to customize, update your Jabra devices. So Jabra Direct is compatible with any Jabra enterprise device that plugs in USB. So what you see here on the screen, it sees the devices, it sees my headset, it sees my camera, the dongle that the headset communicates with, and it also sees my speakerphone. So this is pretty much like your home screen here, your device screen of all the devices that are being plugged in. As you see, you can have multiple devices plugged in. Of course, that's you're selecting the headset for audio. That's going to make the difference. But Jabra Direct will read any Jabra device plugged in via USB. When you go into the device, you can click on it. It gives you a nice bigger picture of what your device looks like. You have options to go into audio, and it brings up a nice little equalizer here for the headset, so I can adjust bass, mid-range, treble, anything to get the best sound experience for you. But you also can go into settings here, and there's quite a few different categories. You have headset categories. So here you can take advantage of some of the features by answering and ending calls by moving the boom arm up and down, or the boom arm mute, moving it up and down. Audio guidance, you can have it as like voice tones or just have it off. A lot of good information features here that could help you with the headset. Mute reminder tone, I know, is one that I always have to have off, so I don't have a beep in my ear every 15 seconds. Gives you the opportunity to see what is paired to the headset here. Also on-head detection, so that audio would actually pause when you take the headset off your head. And also ear cup microphones. So and this is just, the settings are going to be different for every headset that you use. You also have the opportunity to talk about settings with the soft phone. So here, this is just a little setting with prioritize with computer audio. You can also get the product information. So you see the voice announcements, the firmware version that is there, also the part number for the device. So if you ever called in for Jabra for technical support, we may say, hey, what's the part number? You can go into your Jabra Direct, go into product information, and get the part number. It'll also, for like the video camera, you can go into the camera controller, and it may give you the opportunity for like intelligent zoom, picture in picture, how to zoom, do your different presets. And then you also have the settings option like you did for the headset, where you can adjust things and keep it not locked, but set the way that you'd want them. Here you could enable the microphone on the camera if you want, and again, the same product information. So you get the idea with the devices. Bluetooth here actually controls how you're going to keep your headset connected to the link dongle. So right now, as you see, it is connected to my headset. I can disconnect it if I wanted to, get it into a manual pairing mode to connect it to another Evolve 2 headset. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same one. I can have it automatically search and connect to a new device when it's in pairing mode. Just to keep track and reset your Bluetooth devices if need be. Updates. This is where you're going to go to do any type of firmware update for the device. So as you see here, it does say there's an update for the headset. So you would just click on update, and it would give you the option to update the firmware of the headset. It also gives you a certain language that you want to for the headset. So if you're comfortable with a different language, you can put that on as well. And then it would go through the process of updating the headset for you. Also lets you know if the firmware is up to date. This is also where you would update the Jabra Direct software. So if we Jabra ever sent out a new version of Jabra Direct, you would get a notification at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You would click on it, bring you to the screen, and you would see here, you'd have the same update button for Jabra Direct, and it would update Jabra Direct for you. Settings, this is pretty much what controls Jabra Direct. So the notifications, I just talked about that. That lets you know firmware updates are available. If, for example, the headset isn't being seen by Jabra Direct will let you know. Also, so there's also some notifications with some of our headsets. If the mic isn't in the right position, it's going to give you a notification about that. Also give you a notification that the microphone is in the right position. Also enabling Jabra Direct in the tray. So this could be for users for like IT if they want the Jabra Direct in there, but they don't want the end users to know, just so they're not in there changing settings. You can do this by turning it off. However, it will just end up in your little icon tray just to make it a little bit easier to have access to it. Soft phone integration, presence synchronization. This is a good example would be with the Engage 75, how it can connect to 5 different devices. If you're on a desk phone, for example, and you're on a call, but you're also connected to the computer with Teams, in Teams, it'll actually show that you're on a call to help limit being interrupted. And then your preferred soft phone. So this just means if you're using it with a computer, you have multiple soft phones on your computer, you tell Direct which one is going to be the one that you use the most. It's typically the one that you make outgoing calls on. The others are usually internal. So here for me, for example, I would use Microsoft Teams. Next option would be feedback. And here, this actually helps Jabra improve product and also our services. So here, as you see, I have all my devices. I can give a rating on all my devices, and I can also give feedback on Jabra Direct. Help is just like your help for any type of application. It gives you the availability on how to connect your Jabra device, customize your Jabra device. It's kind of like a little quick setup guide for you. But also about Jabra Direct, it gives you all the information here. Gives you direct versions, config URL, which I'm going to talk a little bit in our Express demonstration coming up very shortly. But also with Jabra Direct, which is really nice, if you're having issues with your headset and your soft phone, and for some reason we just can't figure it out, we may ask you to create a diagnostic report. And this is what this is where you'll go. Click on Advanced Support and generate the diagnostic report. So it'll actually give us a report of the last 24 hours of Jabra Direct and the headset communicating with the soft phone. Our engineers will be able to look at it and see if there's anything that might be out of the ordinary. But this is where, if we ever ask you to create that report, this is where you would do it. Jess, you want me to just jump right into Express then?
Yeah, let's keep going with Express and then we'll answer the questions.
You got it. So Jabra Direct, great solution for one end user. Express is going to be the solution for an entire company or organization to customize their headsets, update, get a great inventory asset management tool out of it. Also can get some great analytics and reads on some of our headsets that are out there. Jabra Direct and Jabra Express are 100% free. And they're also Mac and PC compatible, as I mentioned before. What you're looking at here is the Jabra Express homepage. It is just jabra.com/express. We got rid of the E. Real simple to get access. You're going to click on the Get Access button. There are 2 options of Jabra Express 2.0. This Linux setup is still our Express 1.0. You are going to see the cloud version. The on-premise version looks identical to the cloud. It's just a little different setup. More for the end user to create before the Express is starting to run. So I'll click on Get Access for the cloud. What you would see for the first time is this register screen. So you would pop in your company name, user ID, and password, hit register, and it would bring you right to the home screen of Jabra Express. While it's loading, I'm going to open up the categories here on the left-hand side. So this home screen tells you the latest version of Jabra Direct for the Mac and Windows platforms. It also gives you some release notes of those newest versions. You do see 3 pie charts here. Deployment success rate is the success rate of firmware updates being deployed out to the headsets or the users. Platform distributions, so again, just to let you know what operating systems are out there for Mac and PC. And Jabra Direct versions. You may be running Jabra Express, but it supports multiple Jabra Direct versions, so you may have quite a few versions that are out there. This will let you know. You also have the top 10 soft phones, not necessarily the soft phones that are in use, just the ones that are being seen. Same thing with the top 5 devices. And you can also get a last 30 days of activity. So this Express account is only connected to my machine. So that's why you're seeing only one user. But you've seen over time, did a little like spring, fall cleanup, added a new device. So it changes throughout the days here. I like to start at the bottom of Jabra Express because it talks about the users here. So when you first sign into Jabra Express, that user automatically becomes an administrator. Now you can add as many team members as you want. Typically when we're dealing with Jabra Express, we're dealing with a team, not just one person that's controlling everything. So you would just be able to click on add and create a user ID, a password, then you'd be able to give that user an admin or read-only status. Once you've created your team, you can go into packages. Now here, it's just really, you're not creating the whole package just by going to this section. It's just really creating like the title and the theme of the package. Meaning, what I mean by that is like here, so Rozzy Test is the package that I use all the time and the description for all my Jabra devices. Keep in mind of this ID right here, because this will come in the end to verify that the package has been installed correctly. You can also add as many packages as you want as well. And we always get a question, why would I want to create multiple packages? A couple different reasons. We do have customers all over the globe. And some of our headsets may work differently in North America than they do in EMEA, for example. So you may want to create different packages for that. Or, for example, you may have remote users and in-office users. The remote users may have different settings. So those are a couple reasons why you would create multiple packages. Once you've created your team, created the packages, you're going to go up to manage the device. And again, just like Direct, Express is going to take care of all your Jabra devices, enterprise devices that plug in via USB. So here's the devices that I'm dealing with on a daily basis testing. You can just click on add a device to add one, and you'll have the list of all the devices. You can use the search field if you need to up here, and you can just click on any device you want and add it. When you select the device for the first time, it's automatically going to give you the latest and greatest firmware. If you want to go into that device to help configure it, you can either click on the title or the picture. It'll bring up the headset, give you a nice bigger picture like it did in Direct. First thing you're going to select is firmware. Now, we give the user an option of older firmware. Reason being, there are customers out there that run on the older firmware, works well with the software that they're using now. And then they don't really want to risk using a newer firmware causing issues with the software that they're using. So we give them that opportunity. When you select that version of firmware, you have the settings that are tied into that firmware. So as you see, I have some settings here that are checked off and selected, some that are grayed out. The ones that are grayed out, it doesn't mean that the setting isn't going to work. It just means that the end user is going to have access to that setting to change it on their customized version of Direct. So every end user is going to get a version of that Direct when this Express package is installed. The settings that are checked are actually going to be locked down at that the end user level. So the optimized audio for music right down here, for example, it's going to give the user a better quality of sound for the headset. We have that turned on. So in Direct, you're going to see later on in this demo, some of my settings are locked down and grayed out, so I can't make any changes. This is great for a lot of end users that are using quite a few wireless headsets in the office, limits density concerns. But just to kind of give you an idea here of how to customize your devices. Once you've done that, you're going to go into the package settings. Now the package settings looks very similar to the Direct settings because you do have some of those settings in here. Again, you'll be able to lock down these settings. So if if you didn't want the end users to see any of the notifications and you kind of wanted to hide their Jabra Direct in the background, you would just disable them and keep them checked. That way they would not be able to change it. Remember, because checked off boxes are locked settings. The direct soft phone integration, the presence synchronization, you can lock that down. You can lock down the preferred soft phone. These are usually favorites when using Xpress because everybody's using the same soft phone and you want to make sure that you have the right settings. The back end endpoints. This is kind of like the spine of Xpress. So if these boxes are not checked or the URLs aren't there, Xpress will not work. The analytics are all like the stats and the asset management inventory that you get from Xpress. The manifest pretty much runs the entire tool, and firmware, you guessed it, controls firmware updates. Package time. This is actually going to tie in with the automatic device firmware update, which is only supporting the Panicast 50, our camera. So this will allow you to create a package and have it auto start within a certain time frame. You'll give the availability to the end user to postpone it if you wanted to reject it, to start the automatic update while it was on battery power on a laptop. And like I mentioned before, you could change the time interval on when that automatic update will start. Privacy. This usually raises a couple red flags, but I want you to know it's okay. This is just collecting personal data, or not personal data, but connecting the username and PC name when using the search functionality within Xpress. And I'm going to show you in 1 minute. Analytics, the full analytics we're going to show in this demo, but you can also change it to basic if you don't need the search feature, any of the audio guidance readings that you're going to, or the room insights that you're going to see in a moment. And heartbeat frequency is how often Xpress and Direct talk to each other to make those setting changes, and for Direct to shoot back to Xpress and give those readings for like the analytics, which we're going to go into now. So in analytics, this dashboard here is going to give you certain audio levels for your headsets. The Engage 50 actually takes part in all of these options here. I'm using the Evolve 2 line, so we're going to be able to take control of the audio levels. It gives audio levels here in blue, the background noise, getting readings there. Also does audio peaks, as right now you're not seeing any audio peaks with my Evolve 2 headset. It is working strong. You can actually break it down certain dates, and by the electronic serial number of the device, which you can get in the search field, you can break it down by a specific headset. You can also find out with the Engage 50, you can find out if a microphone was actually malfunctioning and the boom arm positioning of the Engage 50. With the search, this is where that collecting personal data or the username and computer name comes into play here. So I'm going to put in my username, and it's showing all the Jabra devices that are plugged into my headset. And here's the electronic serial number. So if we wanted to use that in that dashboard, we would be able to. So there's the headset, the name, electronic serial number, username, computer name, firmware, Jabra Direct version, which was actually a feature request from a customer. So if there are feature requests, we do write them down, we do give them to engineering, and they end up putting them in. Also gives you the last time it was seen at that user's headset. You can also break it down by the model of headset as well, as you see here. And you can always export it to an Excel spreadsheet if needed. Wanted to go over rooms real quick because this is really a big feature with the Panicast cameras. Here, you can create rooms by clicking on add. You can add the room name, do a room capacity like of 10, for example, and of course, with the pandemic in certain settings, it might be only able to have half the capacity. So we do a safe capacity of 5. You have to put in the serial number in order for it to work correctly. Then what will happen when you go into Room Insights, it's going to show a report by the hour of how many users were in that room. It will have a safety line as well, showing you what the safety capacity was, and if any users broke that safety capacity, if there are over 5 users here. We also have safety capacity insights for the 50 and Jabra Panicast cameras, which actually break it down a lot more, giving you a graph also showing how many times it exceeded the safety capacity, how many violations there were. So again, you can break it down by certain time frames and do a search all rooms or a specific room if need be. And of course, you can export all that information. Now that we've done all that with the Xpress tool, we're ready to download. So you're going to go down to the download screen or option, click that you read the end user license agreement word for word. You click on the Windows or Mac version. Here we're doing Windows. It comes down as a zip file. So you're going to extract everything. You're going to get a screen that looks like this. So if you click on README, real simple, it gives you the instruction of how to operate the file. You're just going to double click on the install or command file that ties into the MSI. So you have a 64-bit and a 32-bit. You would double click on, in this instance, double click on the 64. You would see a command prompt pop up for about 2 seconds and it would go away. You would need to bring up the Jabra Direct for the first time. And then after that, it would be up and you could make the changes there. So now I have the Jabra Direct screen up again, and I want to show how you can verify that the Xpress tool has been installed correctly. So if you look at the top of the screen, it might be a little small, but it shows Jabra Direct / ROSI test, the name of the package, right? So we know the package has been installed. There's also other ways to verify. We'll go into a device, settings. You see here in yellow, some of the settings are managed by admin, and some of these settings are grayed out with a lock. That's another way to verify that the Xpress package has been installed correctly. Also, going into help, about Jabra Direct. Remember that package ID I was saying that to remember about? It's going to match the last portion of the config URL. So all this information here is going to match right here. And if you can verify those 3 to 4 things, the Xpress package has been successfully installed and you're able to make changes, updates, get inventory readings for your Jabra devices. So that is Jabra Direct 2.0 and Jabra Express 2.0. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Eric. And just to add to, we talked a lot about the Jabra devices, but if for some reason you also have some non-Jabra devices, it will show in this tool. You just won't be able to make any firmware or any updates to them. I just wanted to mention that as well.
Yes.
Excellent. So let's see. If you have any questions, please enter into the Q&A. I did see one in here. So Eric, I'll go ahead and have you answer this. So with Express, will it allow IT to update the Jabra Direct software remotely if the logged in user does not have admin rights?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you will. You will.
Okay.
To update your Jabra Direct, what would happen is, and we're also working on another feature request to notify the admin that a new version of Jabra Direct is out there. So you would uninstall the previous version of Express and just re-download the package. You don't have to change anything. You just re-download it. It will add the new version of Direct, deploy it, and then you're good to go.
Excellent. Thank you. We do have a couple more questions. The next one, if the Direct software is already installed on the user's PC, do we need to reinstall using the package?
Yes. Yep. Great question. You will have to uninstall. I always tell my customers to start fresh with the Jabra Direct. Just being on there, it doesn't communicate properly with the MSI file, so it doesn't show proper inventory. the firmware won't get to the headset, settings won't get changed. So we just say wipe it out, uninstall it, install that MSI, because you're getting that customized version, right? The settings will be locked down for what you guys choose, and everything's in sync at that point.
Okay, great. The last question just has to do with the cost of Jabra Direct and Jabra Express. So both of these are free. So they are free downloads for you to use with the management of the Jabra devices. Well, these are some great questions. We do appreciate you taking the time to learn a little bit more about Jabra and Jabra Express and Jabra Direct. If you do have any questions that come up, please reach out to VoIP Supply and Darren, and I'm sure if they need to engage us, they will. But it looks like we'll give you some time back on your calendar this afternoon. We really appreciate you joining.
Yeah, thank you so much for the training. A lot of great information. So yeah, if anybody has any questions or anything they need for Jabra, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. I'll be glad to help you out, answer any questions you might have.